Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be sharing my Mulberry collection with you guys. I have 10 pieces including 3 bags and some SLGs. So I'm just going to get right into it because I tried filming this with a kind of introduction to the brand and talking about all the changes at the brand and what the old school Mulberry was like, and it is just a distraction. You want to see the current kind of product examples of what they have now. And if I get time at the end, I might just include a little bit of a summary, or you can just ask me questions below. So I'm going to start with the bags. I'm going to start with the oldest bag to the newest bag. Just to say that I have had lots of Mulberry bags over the years. It's a brand that I really like, especially being an English girl. I think it has a bit more of a presence here than in the US and other places. And we're used to having the products here. You know, the history goes back 40, 50 years. But I don't keep any of my older bags because I tend to refresh my collection and let things go if they're not working out for me. I really actually enjoyed all of the Mulberry bags I've had, and they all had heavy use and they were let go because I just kind of got tired of them, or there was something like the strap was a bit short or something like that. So I will say, and it's easy to say, but these 3 I think are all long-term keepers. So the oldest bag that I have now, although I have had lots of Mulberry bags in the past, is the mini zipped Bayswater. And so the Bayswater is a very classic line of bags for the house, but there's lots of different versions. The original Bayswater and a lot of the current Bayswaters are still flap bags, kind of reminiscent of the shape of a Birkin, with a flap that comes down about a third of the way of the bag. But I just was really drawn to this when they launched it because it just was easy. It just has a zip at the top and it just has the belt detail but no flap, so it's pretty easy. You don't have to do it up. Most of their kind of pretty classic bags just have the raw kind of suede inside, which I think is just the back face of the leather that they use. I'm not sure, but I think so. This one has a adjustable crossbody strap with, they tend to do like very classic chunky rustic styled lobster claws with the branding on and stuff. And they used to do kind of distressed brass hardware, but they now mostly do shiny gold hardware. They have some silver hardware, but it's not as commonly seen. I think probably only like 15% of the bags come with a silver toned hardware. For classic, they mainly do gold, and mostly it's quite a yellow, rich gold, not a champagne gold like you see here. This has definitely got a bit darker and more yellowy in tone over the time that I've had it, but it goes with the rich colour of this Oxblood leather bag. Anyway, so this is the mini size, and the straps attach on little rings here and here. I'm not gonna, it's an overview, I'm not gonna do reviews of each bag. I find the handle, even on a mini, perfectly comfortable. I can carry it in the crook of my arm. I can wear it crossbody, which is how I tend to wear this one. And it's great because if I stand back a bit, you get more of a proportional idea. It's a mini bag, but it's not silly small. They do have now one smaller than this called the Micro, but that I'm not even sure if you could fit a plus size phone in. This one I can fit kind of 3 or 4 SLGs, phone, masks, hand sanitizer, keys. Ooh. So this is a real staple that I wear a lot every autumn, winter. I'm not wearing it much now because I just don't really like burgundy at this time of the year. Next one I got was for last Valentine's Day, just before the pandemic hit. My husband got me this Taupe, the same style bag, one size up. So this is the small, but it's not really small. This is comparable in size to the Givenchy Antigona in the small. And partly why I mentioned that is that it was a toss up between this bag and the small Antigona in the grey. But when I tried that bag on, obviously it's got a short strap, so you can't crossbody it, it just sits at the side. This is kind of similar, the strap's a little bit longer, but I just love this colour more. And the Antigona, I was a bit put off by how rigid it was. This is still structured, but because the sides are belted and have flex, you can really look inside there. The bigger one has the same, a big kind of slip pocket on the back. I think it doesn't have any other pockets yet, and again it has the raw suede lining, so because this is a light colour, I've put an insert inside. And I find this is quite a chunky, sturdy, weighty bag, and On the other one, on the mini, I find the strap to be very in proportion. They've given you a longer adjustable crossbody strap because it's a smaller bag, I think, and they're assuming that most people won't carry this with the strap. This is the strap. It's the same weight and width as the one on the smaller bag, which I think is a little bit out of proportion with the bag. I'll just attach it and you'll see. If the bag is quite loaded up and I were to carry it on the shoulder, I feel like I'm sort of putting strain on the strap, like it just seems a bit flimsy for the size of bag. So if I want to look quite smart and classic, I do it with my Speedy 30. I do like having a strap just hanging from a bag for detail, cosmetically, even if I'm not really going to carry it that way. You can carry it that way. You can crossbody it in a pinch, but on me, the straps are sticking up and everything, it doesn't really work. So when I want to make the bag look a little bit less formal or a bit more sort of youthful and fun, I have got a couple of these B and M, is it? L and B, I can't remember the name of the brand, but I'll link it all below. They do these canvas adjustable straps, and this one's fun. It's got baby pink, taupe, metallic. I really like this one, and they're under £30. The hardware is maybe a tiny bit different in tone, but it doesn't really matter, and it just supports the weight of the bag better on you when you need to wear it crossbody. Okay, and then the next bag, and my favourite of the three by a mile, is my mini Alexa. Honestly, since I shared this on this channel, I have had so much interest. This is another kind of, they brought it back. It was a classic bag. So 10 years ago, 12 years ago, this came out. It was super popular. It was named after Alexa Chung. I think maybe she had a hand as a guest designer in designing it. They used to do that. They had the Del Rey bag. They had various bags that they made with, or like the Birkin is Jane Birkin. You know, they had bags where they had a muse. And this was super popular. This is the mini. Then there's a standard one. And then there's an oversized, which is massive. I chose the mini because I think it's the cutest, and also it won't lose its structure so readily. I like candle, even though it's a mini bag. I mean, it's much smaller even than this bag. It holds a lot because this is much more of a squishy, malleable bag than those two. But I just love the detail. I love these straps. I love the woven handle. You can unpop the sides, and I mean, I've talked about this bag in other videos, so I don't need to go into too much detail. Again, you get the slip pocket, this time finished in leather on the outside of the pocket, and I can hold all my essentials in there, especially in the lifestyle we've been living over the last year. And it also has a nice crossbody adjustable strap. The hardware on this is slightly lighter, it's slightly more champagne-y than on the other two, which I also really like. And this is a bit thicker and weightier and feels slightly better quality than this strap, which is not adjustable. I feel like this strap lets this bag down a little bit, and it's a bit of an afterthought, but it's fine because I don't really use that on there, so it doesn't bother me. Is it the same as this one? No, this one's a bit thinner as well. So yeah, the strap is nicest on the Alexa, and it goes plenty long enough for me. What I like about adjustable crossbody straps is that some people don't like crossbody. They like a bag on a long strap just hanging by their side. And because this is adjustable and it goes from, I've got it on the longest, but it's got several settings. You can have it so it's not hanging around too low down your thigh. So those are the three bags that I have now. As I said, I have had other bags more of their classic styles in the past. I tend to stick to fairly classic styles. They have had phases where they've had a range of styles, like the Clifton and the Amberley, like different families within the brand with lots of different styles of bags within. And it's just a bit, I think it's better when to stick to the classics, I would with Mulberry. And then all three of these are pretty classic though. I can use them for years to come. In terms of SLGs, I have an old school Mulberry cosmetic case. This is 15 years old and it's still going strong. It looks a bit mottled. That's because I've tried to clean it. And because it's got a sheen, it's a shiny, glossy goat leather. Sometimes when you use leather cream, you actually end up with kind of staining from the moisturizer because it doesn't absorb evenly. So I have got a few little marks, but nothing that deters me. Can you see there? It's just a bit patchy. doesn't deter me from using it, and it's really soft and squishy, this one. It's about the same size as a Louis Vuitton Cosmetic PM, but it's squishy and it's all leather, so you don't really get the wearing on the corners and stuff. And you know what, it's one of those things that doesn't look perfect anymore, but I will always want to keep it and use it for as long as it's usable, because it's just, it feels so luxurious. And the leathers used to be more squishy like this, whereas now if you buy one of these, they still make them, they are structured kind of like these bags, and they don't have that squish. I have one kind of full-sized or medium-y wallet. This is this one. This is called, and it's got the ticket in it, so I can tell you, this is a current design that they have. It's a really nice wallet. It is the mini zipped Bayswater small classic grey wallet in solid grey, which is the same as the colour of my small Bayswater, zipped Bayswater. They kind of go together. This one's got a card slot on the back. Again, they used to do all their wallets with like a bigger postman's lock, more like this, but even bigger. And now on most of the products, they've done it as more of a shrunken, it's obviously cheaper or something. And now they often don't have the tree on everything. They have just like Mulberry written here. Whereas on some of them, you have a tree, yeah, at the top. And then Mulberry written there. So yeah, when you open it up, it's got another card slot there, and then it opens up and you've got 3 ranks of card slots. One there, one there. So that's 6 already. Another cash pocket down the back, zip coin area, 2 large. It's a really, you can fit everything you need in there. Really like that. I have 2 of their version of like a, oh, overexposed. 2 of their version of like a zippy coin pouch. This one is burgundy, which is very close in colour to the Oxblood bag. This one, the zippers are really smooth. They always only do metal zipper teeth, which I really enjoy. This one is lined in smooth navy blue leather. Again, you've got 3 slots in the central area. So it's still got nearly as many slots as that grey wallet, but it's just so compact. Slightly bigger than the Chanel ones. It's slightly taller. This is probably about the same size as the Louis Vuitton zippy coin purse. But again, I prefer, as I get older, I still love my Louis Vuitton, but I just love these solid leather, plain leather pieces. This is a bit of an electric pink for summer. Love this. I love bright pops with my SLGs because I wouldn't really do bag. I'm not bold enough to do bags in these bright colours, but I like my kind of neutral bags with these things inside. And again, you have a leather pull tab on a gold ring, smooth buttery zipper. Both of these are the same version. They sometimes do these with the plaque stuck on. I'll show you another example of that in a minute, but these two just have the foiling. And rather than having a contrast leather lining like that one, this has the same pink. And these are called the small zip around purse. This is Fluro pink. It's from a few seasons back. And all their SLGs, when they have the bolder the colour, the more likely it is to end up in the sale. So this one I got in the sale at the end of a summer when they were bringing out the autumn winter stuff, and I think I got it for £95, whereas the brand new at that time anyway was about £160. So you can make savings, seasonal savings on their site and in store. They have outlets in various places, and but the kind of classic core colours like the tans, the blacks, the burgundies, they don't really tend to go in the sale. And then I have these 2 kind of coin pouches. Again, their products have a lot of great functionality. So they always on their coin pouches have a card slot on the back. So this is the version with the plaque. So you just have like a plaque put on, but it's not functional, with the 2 like rivets, or you just have the foiling. Mulberry England. They're very different, these 2. I got this literally because of the colour. This is gusseted, so it's like the Raton style, which means that it's got more room because it's bigger that way. And this is glazed and 2 flat pieces sewn together. So this doesn't hold the same amount. I just wanted a neon SLG. I missed out on a Louis Vuitton one a couple of years ago and was looking out, and I just found this and fell in love. This has got the black smooth leather inside. All their SLGs are usually lined completely in leather, except the cosmetics, which are, well, they used to be anyway, like a tree a jacquard fabric in cotton. So there you have it. And then finally, where are you hiding? For this bag, I bought a bag scarf. Now they do now do smaller ones that are not too big, like a twilly, but this is like a maxi twilly, I guess is the equivalent. And I just loved the colours, and it was like on impulse that I got it. It says mulberry there, and it's got blues, some kind of taupey shades. It really, if I wrap the front handle, it looks really nice on the small Bayswater. So there you have it. In terms of dust bags, a lot of people have asked me about that. I think that the dust bags are really good quality. I've heard other people in videos say that they were underwhelmed, that they felt thin. This one, see, they changed the Mulberry logo used to be slightly different. They've changed their lettering, but I'm kind of used to it now. They always have a drawstring, which I much prefer to the flap ones. And then this one is for my this bag. This one's lovely. This is really thick, and it has like a herringbone in the pattern. I don't know if you can see that. So they do vary from style to style. What else to tell you? They have a good returns policy if you buy online. They have okay customer service. They're very helpful on the phone. I find sometimes they're very helpful when you're in the store. I mean, this is like with every brand, and you're about to buy. Sometimes once you're in the club and you've bought your Mulberry bag, if you require repair or you have a problem, they can sometimes be a bit arsey. But, you know, we've all had mixed experiences with lots of brands, so I can't objectively say. You know, I've just had a couple of times where I've had things happen. Say, my main issue has been a couple of times I've had loose stitching, which has needed to be sewn. And that was on a beautiful peach patent Bayswater with rose gold hardware that I got in Dubai. And so it was a bit of a pain because they didn't really want to repair it here because it was in another territory. But when I asked to speak to someone senior and said, I bought this overseas, do you expect me to go on a plane to Dubai? And they were like, no, fine, as long as you've got proof of purchase. And they couldn't stitch that because of the going back through the patent coating, but they gave me a no quibble exchange, and I purchased another Bayswater. That was like 10 years ago. So I think they're lovely, classic. They're sturdy, they're hard wearing, durable, thicker leathers. Some of them are heavy. You need to try them on if you're not sure. That these three recent ones are good quality, so I think it's good to just stay in the now. Like, I feel like there were issues with quality, but they've scaled back their production. They don't produce, I don't think they produce in China anymore. They have some factories in either Spain or Italy, and they're trying to produce more of the heritage sustainable line, which these are all part of here in the UK, quite local to me. The hardware, I feel like the hardware could hold up in terms of tarnishing for longer. I noticed today, as I was just showing you this bag, that I have a dark splodge on this lobster claw that I'm going to take downstairs and see if I'll clean it. But they're not actual brass hardware anymore. They're like a gold, you know, they're like a gold coloured plating. And I don't know, they just seem to darken over time. And sometimes with the champagne gold hardware, when I had a couple of bags with quite big plates on like this, you'll find that the turn lock part, I mean, this is old though, this is 15 years old. Sometimes the edges can turn silver after a few years, but I mean, that can happen with any brand. You just need to rub them down with a soft cloth and put them in the dust bags when you're not using them and stuff, and that will help. But these, I'm going to go and try and buff that unsightly black mark out of there. I don't know what that is, because this has not been used a lot. I got this bag for Valentine's and then the pandemic happened, so I didn't really use it because it's like a big day bag. And I've used it a bit last summer, and then I've used it a couple of times in the last month. Anything else to say? If you have any questions or something that I haven't, I'm rushing a bit because I've got something I've got to go and do. So if you feel this is rushed, you've got questions about the brand or any of my pieces, just leave a question down below. I'll always answer. Do I recommend? This is one thing people ask me. People from the States in this community often message me and say, I'm thinking about adding the Alexa, particularly this one. Do you recommend? I think they stand up in terms of quality against many of the other brands that we enjoy. And I just think there's a classic English, the hardware and the features that are kind of statement for the brand just appeal to me. And I love all the different grains of leather that you can get and stuff. I say go for it, and just check, you know, wherever you are, what your territory is. If you're getting it at a concession and department store, or if you're getting it directly from the Mulberry website or a Mulberry store, just check in that country what they do in terms of repairs, because I know here in the UK everything gets sent back to the Shepton Mallet headquarters here in the West Country for repair. But obviously if you live in the States, they're probably not going to send your bag overseas, so you just need to have they got the workshops, have they got the capability to repair things, keep them going. This needs to go in for repair because I have worn it quite a bit, and the got very thick rubbery glazing, and where I'm doing that, it's got a split here. Can you see that? Like a line there. And I contacted them when I noticed it, and they were like, we're not doing repairs until the pandemic's over, so I'm assuming now that the stores are open, they'll take repairs again. They do usually charge. They're not very good even in that first, unless you're under warranty in that first year. It seems to be discretionary, and again, we've heard this all before with different brands, that somebody gets all their glazing done for free, someone else they'll say we can't do it, someone else they'll charge them 50 quid. It seems to be a bit hit and miss, but just ask, just look at the piece that you're looking at, and if you're into handbags, you can probably look at it and work out where the weak spots are. Has it got glazing? Has it got, just look at the stitching and stuff like that. I will say another thing to look out for is that now they're using this, not on all the bags, because this is beautifully supple, it's just a different heavy grain leather, it's a squishy heavy grain leather. This one is a very kind of caviar-y tough bag, but I felt like that the intensity of the colour wasn't great, it was a bit patchy, so I used a really good leather cream on it regularly, and I did colour restoring on it once because I bought this bag and then I stumbled one time and scraped the bag on a wall when I'd had it for like a week, and I mean I can't even see it now. Yeah, there's a bit of colour loss like there on that front edge, and probably once a year I just use colour restore in an Oxblood polish that they recommended and everything. I rang head office and they told me what one to get, and now it's fine. This one, again, I've used it for 3 kind of seasons of autumn, winter, and I'm getting a little bit of tarnishing just on the turn part of the lock. But they will replace things like that because this is, again, one of the more classic bags, so they will still keep these parts for a long time. Anyway, I'm rambling. I think it's time to go. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions on Mulberry, leave them down below, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.